everybody. Hi. Hello. Excuse me. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I vlogged. Sorry. I caught another cootie and I have been out of commission. One of my clients is an ER doctor. And, first we talked about, his business. And then, because he's a doctor, how are you feeling? And I told him, about every 5 years, I get every cold, flu, dingleberry, germ. And I said, and 2025 has been that year. And he laughed and he said that it was perfectly normal because once your immune system gets compromised, it takes a minute for it to get back to, fighting fit. And that's kind of where I am right now. I hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. I was on my deathbed. Gonna get some gum to help with manage the cough, so I don't drive us all crazy. But even though I was at home, snuggled up, it sounds like I had the best Thanksgiving. I don't know what it is about the holidays that makes everybody so fighty, but there's a lot of cranky nonsense, is what I observed. From the comfort of my own home, I did not have to go out and deal with the craziness. But, it's the time of year everyone gets in their feelings and fusses around about whatever it is they're going to fuss around about. And I've been thinking a lot about my dad lately. And he was a storyteller. It was his main tool for instruction. And if you were clever, you knew he was telling you a story because the story had meaning to whatever you guys were interacting about, to whatever issue you were dealing with. And if you weren't clever, here's this nice man just told you a random story that's interesting. He was a lot like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Parenthood, but there's that scene where the grandma tells a story about carousels versus roller coasters, and Gil does not get it. It's just a weird story that's random. But his wife's character, she gets it. She understands that the story was an illustration about mindset and life, and she saw something way more profound in the story than her husband did. Then you get, the great moment where he realizes the wisdom of what his grandmother said. That was what living with my dad was like. He would tell you this random story. And you'd be wondering, what the hell does this have to do with what I'm dealing with? Okay. But if you gave it a little time, you'd be able to piece it together. So here is one of Dad's stories. And I'll let you figure out what the relevance is. Dad used to tell me this story about one of the massive advantages during World War II that America had over the Germans was they had third-party neutral observer on every flight mission, on every airplane. And that third-party neutral observer is called a camera. And if you think about it, we've got all sorts of footage that we see in movies and television from air raid bombing missions, shooting sequences, that's actual footage from planes. And I don't know that I've ever seen the same footage more than a couple of times. There's a plethora of options. So yeah, this was an important tool, and here's why. The Germans did not do this. And so it was their system that they relied on what the pilots reported that they shot out of the sky. How many guys did you shoot? Oh, I took down 3 planes. Okay, good for you. I only took down 1. Well, 1 is better than none. The numbers that the Germans had for what they thought they shot down was so overblown. And they could not figure out what was going on in the United States that we were able to crank out so many airplanes. And they were using these numbers to allocate their resources. And because their numbers were not accurate, they didn't allocate properly. And that's the power of a camera. We've got a lot going on about cameras and footage and blowing things up. The camera will tell the truth even when people can't. So it's it's still the first week of December. I think I started doing these vlogs a year ago next week. So I have been doing this for a year. I've stuck with it. I've enjoyed it. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed. I have 49 subscribers. I started out with 1. And I think that was my sister-in-law. Thank you, Mai. And here I am a year later. I've got 49 subscribers. I don't know how many episodes I've posted, but I'm pretty sure it's more than 52. And I'm having a blast. This is a lot of fun. I want you to know that the future of the vlog is evolving. I have realized that the learning curve on editing and all of that is a little steep for me right now. I've got a lot on my plate. So I have teamed up with a videographer, editor, and we are going to work together, and I'll have something more in the format of what I was hoping to deliver when I first started. I feel good about this investment because it's what I wanted to do all along, but I can see that I've stuck with the crappy version, the primitive version for a whole year. So yeah, I'm committed. I'm having fun. And I want to share more of my city with all of you. So look out for that. That's 2026 goals. The other big piece of information is I've been getting questions about how I reversed my diabetes. And I'm very, very pleased with my progress. And I have decided to make that a separate thing. So I have a Substack, Hacking Diabetes. I am starting a YouTube channel just about that, with sharing the tips and tricks and, what I eat in a day kind of stuff. That's going to be Hacking Diabetes Official on YouTube. So I'll keep that separate, and I'll stop telling you guys here about my health stuff and make an actual channel about tips that worked for me. So those are the two big changes coming up for this year. On Substack, I have 2 articles up. I don't know what I'm doing with Substack. It's a whole new environment, and I've got to learn how that works. But if you have friends or family that are dealing with insulin resistance and looking for ways to make that improved, I'm sharing what I know. I'm just sharing my knowledge. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a nutritionist or dietitian or physical therapist. I'm not any of those things. I'm a human being who has made a change in how I deal with my life. And I'm very happy to share my knowledge. So take it for what it's worth. That's what's going on there. So right now I'm headed out to Studio City, and the day is so beautiful. I just can't get over how gorgeous the weather is. I hope you're having a beautiful day filled with joy and kindness and luck. Good luck to everybody. I am planning to have a marvelous day, and it's already started out very nicely. You guys stay out of trouble, and I will talk to you soon.